LTV Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors. MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.
From the Doug Grunchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, we welcome you to high school basketball here on RFM. Great to have you back with us for another night of basketball here on Rivalry Family Media and with our partners, Leominster TV and Fitchburg Access Television. Great to have you with us wherever you are tonight as Fitchburg gets set to play host to Leominster in Game 2 of a rivalry doubleheader. Coach James McCall's Red Raiders come in with a 9-4 overall record. Winners of 7 in a row since losing to Leominster back on January the 13th. That was a loss by a 61-50 margin. Since then, they have won 7 in a row. Meanwhile, Leominster comes in with an 8-6 record, but they have lost 3 of their last 5 battles out on the floor tonight. We welcome you up here high above the Doug Grunchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg once again. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Robinson. Great to have you joining us. If you're just joining us here tonight and weren't with us for Game 1 of the doubleheader, Leominster's girls pick up a big victory tonight over Fitchburg, and now the teams take center stage once again for boys basketball action as Leominster and Fitchburg get set to do battle. Once again, right off the outset, thank the great folks at FATV, Nate Glenny, Executive Director, Travis Falk, their Swiss Army knife of all things technical, and the folks here in the IT department in the city of Fitchburg. We thank them all for collaborating and helping us get this broadcast live on the air from the Grutch tonight. All right, that's the precursors. Now it's basketball time. And Bill Thomas, we were saying it just before we went to the break to start game number 2's broadcast, and that is this is a Fitchburg team that is going in the right direction, ripping off 7 in a row, and a Leominster team that has found a bumpy time through their last so many games.
Yeah, I think they're 2-3 in the last 5, and they've definitely struggled coming off a tough loss their last game against Wachusett that by all accounts they probably should have handled easily based on the talent level we've seen. But yeah, it's a tough time right now for Leominster basketball. They can find a way to rate the ship, and you talk about a teams that are heading in different directions since the last time they met. I don't think it's any clearer than what you see right here. 7-0 Fitchburg and barely 500 Leominster. This is a big game for both schools going forward, trying to position themselves for the upcoming tournament and having that momentum. And right now, it's all on Fitchburg's side.
And Kate, you had said it during our last broadcast, and that is that Fitchburg has athletically exceeded Leominster out on the floor in pure athletic talent, but the basketball talent was on the Leominster side of the ledger. Right now, it's difficult to see that as the case. It's just one of those situations where athletically, Fitchburg right now is running, and their basketball talent has caught up with their athletic ability, and right now, they are trending in the right direction.
And we've talked about it a number of times. Fitchburg, seemingly, especially on the boys' side, always has just pure athletes. And essentially it's, can you harness that athleticism and essentially, like you said, channel it into that basketball athleticism? And Coach McCall had talked about it in the last matchup. Can his Fitchburg Red Raiders put not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 full quarters of quality basketball, particularly on the offensive end? Can they put that together? On the flip side, Leominster is in a kind of an interesting situation because they need this win. They kind of have been this Jekyll and Hyde seesaw action since they played Fitchburg, and so they're trying to right the ship and make sure that they're playing their best basketball going into the end of the year. But they have a bit of a psychological cloud right now going on because Justin Dada needs just 35 points in order to reach his 1,000th career point. Just 35 points away. He got 27 the last time he played Fitchburg. But Coach Cordio said it best just a few moments ago. He said, second time around, this is a whole different ball game. Now that both of these teams have seen each other, it's going to be a very different basketball game. Leominster still may be victorious, but it's going to have a very different look in order to get that victory.
And if Leominster's going to do it, they're going to have to find a way to beat this Fitchburg defense,
Yes.
which Coach James McCall pointed out to me that in this 7-game winning streak, they have held 3 teams to under 40 points defensively. And when Leominster has played defensive teams that have played well against them, they have struggled down the stretch.
Well, not only that, Leominster sometimes gets into this situation where they rely on only 1 or 2 players in order to get their offensive points. If Fitchburg's defense can hold them up, that's going to be a problem for Leominster.
National anthem and tip-off, we've got it for you here. But first, our national anthem. Where else would you rather be than here at the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg on a Friday night in February when 2 arch rivals clash on the hardwood? It's Leominster and Fitchburg's second meeting of the season, and we've got the action for you here on RFM and in delay with our partners at Leominster TV and Fitchburg Access Television. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us here for high school basketball action, and a dandy is about to ensue. We will see just what combination works for these teams. Leominster is going to send one version of their starting 5 to the floor. Terrence McCormick, Michael Halstead, Ricky Encarnacion, Chase Hawes, anchored by Justin Dada, who is 35 points away from 1,000. He comes into the night with 965 career points, tied for second all-time with Brian Haschig of the class of 2002. Tip-off is away. Red Raiders win the tip, and they will control going left to right. It's Zion Ayala, Victor Cutcarreyes, Omar Rodriguez, Elijah Jeffries, and Quentin Bryson, the starting 5 for the Red Raiders, and the immediate giveaway. And here comes Halstead going the other way. It's McCormick, bounce for Hawes. Hawes gets tied up on the play and is knocked away by Bryson. And Leominster will keep the basketball just about 30 seconds, 28 seconds into this first quarter, still scoreless. Each team has had a chance to possess. Dada, the catch on the inbound, and it rattles home.
Good look right there. Working the paint, Leominster taking advantage. Fitchburg falling a little bit asleep there, getting lazy on that inbounds.
Dada pressing the action up at Cutcarreyes inside. The find, that's Jeffries. Jeffries on the low block for Bryson, and Bryson not able to finish.
Like a block by Encarnacion there. Good inside defense.
Dada with the basketball and 25 to shoot, a minute gone by here in the opening quarter.
Leominster's cadence very different than Fitchburg's on offense right now.
Halstead for McCormick's 3 doesn't go, but Dada the rebound, and the lay-in is good.
Yeah, cleaning up that offensive rebound. Quick putback.
6:45 to play here in the first quarter.
Fitchburg not boxing out on that.
Dada 4. Fitchburg nothing. Red Raiders wearing the white tops over white bottoms, trimmed in brick red numerals front and back, and Raiders across the chest. 3 away for Ayala will not go. Halstead from Hawes the rebound to Dada in transition. He avoids the contact, and the lay-in is good, and it's Dada 6 and Fitchburg nothing.
Sweet finger roll right there, but you're right, Todd. Sidestep that defender. Nice soft flip.
29 points away now. Started the night chasing 1,000, looking for 35 at the start of the night. The rebound run down after the long three for Ayala did not go. Cue up here, Rodriguez a three, back rim no. And here we go in transition, and Bryson had a phenomenal game for Fitchburg in the first meeting between these two teams, but Omar Rodriguez, the junior in this starting lineup, was the standout. That three away will not go, and Bryson comes down with the rebound. Blue Devils wearing the royal blue tops, royal blue bottoms, trimmed in black and white. White caps at the shoulders and the waistband. The running Devil over the varsity L on either side of the shorts.
It's going to be on Dada. It'll be his first, team first for the Blue Devils.
And this crowd has steadily built to this fever pitch as we've gotten ready for game 2 of action. Kutka with the kick finds the corner Ayala. Ayala puts the ball on the floor. Working against Haas. Haas cuts off the lane. Now Dada covering this time Jeffries. Kutka with the crossover. Now the drive on Dada. Scoop shot and down it goes. Red Raiders are on the board.
Quick first step right there, right at the foul line, 2 steps and down that right side. Nice job.
And watching Kutka grow over his 3 years, coming in as a freshman and being that three-point specialist, he is now diversified and become a tremendous basketball player. As McCormick tried to create space, forgot to put the ball on the floor first, it's a travel, and the ball will go back to Fitchburg. 3 officials as assigned by Board 44 here in North Central Mass. 3 experienced veterans for this arch-rival matchup. The drive, it's Ayala, gets bumped out of play by Haas, but they say he stepped out first. It's Leominster basketball.
Yeah, trying to play the ball off of Haas, but he'd already stepped on the end line.
And here comes Halstead. Halstead for Dada. And Michael Halstead really has been a guy for Leominster that they have needed. He has a role. It's not to be a major scorer. It's to do everything else on the floor, and he helps the flow for Leominster. He hasn't had his best game all year, but still a moment in time as Encarnacion with the double clutch and lay-in.
You know, and Halstead instrumental in the middle of that passing right there. And, you know, he's been fighting for his starting job. He's been in and out of the lineup, but whenever he's on the floor, he produces.
Jeffries the drive to the basket, competing with Encarnacion. Shot didn't go, but the follow-on cleanup did for Bryson. Halfway through a fast-moving first quarter, it's a 4-point basketball game. 8-4 Leominster's advantage. McCormick for Encarnacion, full back over the head, loose ball picked. Rodriguez ahead of the break. He got it into the right hand, and the lay-in is good.
Thought he was going to go in and dunk it, Todd, but he let up and little finger roll at the end.
And now Dada trapped a long way away, gets 2 hands on the ball. It's a double dribble and a turnover. Back to the red and gray.
Big double team on defense there by the Red Raiders. Gets Dada to travel trying to get out of that.
Leominster's going to need to settle just a little bit.
And a quick steal. Encarnacion off the inbound. Got it to Dada, and the lay-in is good.
Surprised they didn't call him for a kick there, Todd. He got that with all foot. Officials let him play on.
3:23 and counting to play in this first quarter, 10-6. Kutka will steady the basketball and the pace of this one as the Red Raiders settle into a half-court offense. Swings into the hands of Rodriguez. 3 away, won't go. Rebound battle tip. Ayala runs down the loose ball. He'll set up Kutka. Thought about a 3, brought the ball down. Now swing. Find Jeffries. Jeffries 3 away. Back rim, front rim, side rim, and down. Red Raiders for 3.
Hit everything but the shot clock and the scoreboard there. Ended up falling in.
Leominster's lead dwindles to 1 at 10-9. 2:45 to play in the opening quarter. Halstead for Haas. Swing Dada. Long look at 3. Back rim won't go. Rebound down for Bryson. And here's Kutka.
Red Raiders looking to take the lead.
Crossover on Dada. Stop foul line. Swing for Jeffries. Jeffries, bump contact. Working on McCormick. Kick back, find Rodriguez. 14 to shoot. Discard Rodriguez. Step back 3. Back rim no, and Dada down with the rebound. Long floor. Dada finds Encarnacion, who leaked out down floor. Lay-in finish.
Good look by Dada, though. Looked up. There was Ricky streaking down the floor.
Leominster expands their lead to 3. Kutka, drive, Rodriguez,
nice
touch,
inside.
Jeffries, lost the handle, McCormick touched it, Kutka picked the save, lay-in is good!
Oh, it's a little careless there. Didn't know the Red Raider was behind him.
12-11, Leominster's lead is won again. 96 seconds left here in the first quarter. The baseline drive, it was tipped out of play by Bryson, and Leominster will keep the basketball. Coach James McCall said of Elijah Jeffries, he has been their most consistent player this season, and he is now back in consistently within the lineup as well. Dylan Cart joins the fray, an immediate first touch, tries to feed Jaden Johnson, the hero to keep the game against Wachusett going in overtime, sent it to double overtime, a game Leominster ultimately succumbed to in losing that one. A wide open three for Ayala, goes to the top of the glass but never went out. Battle for the rebound, tipped out of play by Casanova in at the last touch, and Leominster will keep the last basketball here going the other way. Final 1:10 left here in the first. Halstead for Jaden Johnson. Foul line Carr, fake baseline, nowhere to go, back to Johnson. Johnson, three away, splash!
Showing a little bit of leftover confidence from that other night, not afraid to chuck it up.
And that one was open and with perfect mechanics. Into the corner, Casanova looking for the three, into the hands of Encarnacion. Now find Jaden Johnson ahead of the break, scrapes the toes, but the shot was blocked away by Bryson.
Nice defense right there, never gave up the position.
It's a nice try.
About a 10-second differential, shot clock and game clock. Kutka with it, buried in the low left block. Looked for Jeffries down the lane, kicked it out of play, and it is Leominster basketball. Shot clock off, 30 and 5/10 left here in the first.
Good
You
job.
blinked.
Good
You
job
missed
by Dada.
This entire quarter.
Indeed. Fast-moving, limited whistles, one foul call that was against Leominster, and other than that, these two rivals are playing end-to-end basketball right now. Jack Dada on the floor, working with Justin Dada. Halstead finds Johnson, bounce inside for Carr, waited for the defensive blow by, and Carr got fouled. He's going to the line to shoot two. 12 and 6/10 left here in the first quarter.
But you're right, Kate. Beautiful in and out, and then found that baseline cutter. Nice job, let the defense blow by, get a couple of foul shots.
And that third pass was the struggle for Leominster the other night against Wachusett. The Dadas start playing catch at the top of the key, and then if it gets locked in one of the corners, there was nowhere to go, and that was where Leominster got themselves in trouble, stagnated a little bit. This one, the third pass was inside, take the ball to the hole.
But the awareness that right now, whomever is on the court for Leominster, they're aware of the open man.
Carr missed the first and the second. He goes 0 of 2 to the delight of the red and gray faithful in front of us here in the Doug Rudgefield Fieldhouse tonight.
Can't miss the freebies.
Kutka comes down floor, launches a three. That catches the shot clock out of play. And the action will go back down floor. 1 and 6/10 left here in the opening quarter. Dada flips it to the other end. And that's the way the first will come to an end. An exciting, action-filled first quarter. Teams going end-to-end against one another. It's Leominster 15 and Fitchburg 11 through the first 8 minutes here at the Grutch tonight.
Yeah, back and forth. A lot of energy expended in that first quarter. Not a lot of defense, but tell you, teams were up and down the court there. A few turnovers, but I think just about what we expected here. Nice, close first quarter.
We, of course, have been talking about this 1,000-point club that Justin Dada aspires to become a part of and has the opportunity to do it. And you see on screen the players that have come before him, and you look there, and there is only one boys basketball player in Leominster history that did it. It was Ryan Turbine, class of 2011, 1,136 career points. He is the only boys basketball player ever to do it. Other than that, 5 members of the girls basketball program historically have done it. Starting first in 1988 with Lauren Hatfield with 1,162 points. Carrie Conway joined that total in 2001, 1,169 points. 3 years later, Lindsay Delici did it with 1,150 points. And then Ryan Turbide, we mentioned in 2011, and then in 2014 and 2018, Quinn O'Connell and Riley Skinner over 1,000 each, respectively. Out of the timeout, and the action resumes here. Second 8 minutes as we begin the second quarter. Leominster continues from right to left.
For those wondering why only one boy up to this point, much more difficult in boys basketball to reach that mark.
Jeffries with the tap, and out of play goes the ball. And of course, Kate, some would say, well, wait a minute. The reason for that is very simple. You've got to play 4 years of varsity basketball in order to be able to do it. And given the athletes historically that have played in both the boys and girls program, it is a special select few that can play 4 years and basically play varsity basketball as a 9th grader.
And not only that, let's take a look at the ball handler, both maybe Jeffries or Kutka.
Kutka with the tap on, and it will go.
The amount of physical change in someone like Kutka, who was on varsity as a freshman for Fitchburg. Their bodies are so different from freshman year to senior year on the boys' side of the ball. It's inexplicable.
Open car, right block, took too long, stripped by Yadiel Rivera, but then the immediate giveaway in transition, trying to find Jeffries, and Rivera returns to this Red Raider team. He's a player that Coach McCall says so important to have back in the lineup after battling an early season injury.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing about this Fitchburg team. They're firing on all cylinders. They have everybody healthy right now. Nice steal there, too.
Indeed, and it's Rivera.
Lazy pass there on the inbounds. Can't have that.
Sends it back to the top of the key for Bryson. Bryson for Rodriguez. Rodriguez, hard crossover on Encarnacion. Maybe one move too many. Swings to Rivera, and Reyes will once again steady the floor. 16 to shoot. Kutka Reyes the drive to the basket. Swatted away by Dada. 3-on-2 on the break. Red Raiders scrambling back. Carr gets the headman pass and missed the bunny on the doorstep. And Rodriguez will pull up the rebound from the floor.
So that's two things you can't have if the Blue Devils want to be successful. You can't miss the bunnies, and you can't turn it over on lazy passes that you telegraph. Those are two things that cannot happen tonight for them.
18 to shoot. Red Raiders half court to the right. This is Rodriguez from the left side. He'll swing back top of the key. It's Kutka Reyes. Now comes to the near side right for Rivera. Right back to Kutka. Kutka gets some space. 3 away. Front rim. Glass. Not able to bring it down. Carr the rebound. He'll drop it off to Dada. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. 15-13 is Leominster's advantage. Dada drawing a double team. Swing to Jaden Johnson. Right back to Dada. Dada for Jack Dada. Back for Dada. Open. Carr missed off the glass and was bothered from behind by Rivera. Fans thought Rivera had a block, but Carr got blocked up by his own rim that he was shooting at. Rodriguez the drive, shot up, basket good, plus a foul. Red Raiders are tied with a chance to take the lead.
Nice job right there, turning that missed opportunity down on the Leominster end to 2, plus an opportunity to complete a 3-point play down on the Red Raiders end. Chance to take the lead since early in the game. I'm not sure the Red Raiders have led at
They have not.
any point in this game, but they have an opportunity right here, Todd and Kate.
Rodriguez at the line, chance to complete a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Knee bend shot away, back rim won't go, down to the rebound. We're tied at 15, and there's a foul on the successive action against Casanova.
Who took that shot, by the way? Sorry.
Rodriguez following on the first two.
Got it, thank you.
And the Dadas bring the ball up floor. It's Jack Dada, distributes to McCormick. Back to Dada. Drop it inside for Hawes, back for Jack Dada. Snap Halstead in the paint. Dribbles. Justin Dada maybe got some room. He'll take it down the lane, drive and kick. Jack Dada 3 on the left. Back rim, no. Rebound ripped down on the play by Rodriguez.
No doubt about that one. Oh,
and an immediate knockdown by Dada. He goes 1-on-2 against Rodriguez. Offensive foul, no basket.
Couldn't get around him that time for that finger roll.
And that'll be his second.
Great defensive job. Park in front of Dada, nothing he could do. He took it straight to the lane and took out the defender. We're still tied at 15, 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Victor Kutka Reyes drives to the left, working on Halstead. He'll dribble it back to the top of the key and drop it off for Rivera, and then over for Rodriguez. Rodriguez, crossover, drive, left side, right-hand shot does not go. McCormick the rebound. He finds Hawes. Hawes up floor, contact. Hawes' lay-in is good. Probably could have got a bonus block there against Bryson, who slid in and made the body contact.
Doesn't get the call, but good job completing that drive right there. Missed a couple easy ones. Good payoff.
Leominster regains the lead, 17-15, and then an immediate trap at midcourt. Nice job to bail themselves out with the bang off of the defense and out of play. Kutka will look to inbound for Jeffries. Jeffries comes back, and he'll carry across the timeline for Rivera. Rivera back for Kutka. And Kutka steadies the action. Surveys the floor. He's working on Dada. Dada drives. No shot. No shot. The foul is on the floor. So no basket. Still 17-15, 4:12 to play here in the second. Red Raider possession under. Fourth foul whistled against Leominster here in the first half to 2 whistled against Fitchburg. Bryson inbounds for Kutka. And he'll dribble back to the top of the key and drop it off for Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the crossover, drive against Johnson, now step back, swing Rivera. Rivera off a screen from Jeffries, working on Hawes, scoop, and around it down it goes.
Good
Determination.
Wow, good body control right there. Took the contact, laid it in.
Back to 17 all at 3:45 to play in the second quarter. McCormick for Dada, back to McCormick and swing to Johnson.
McCormick's been awful quiet up to this point in the game, Todd.
You're right, Billy.
Like to see him get off the quiet wagon.
Johnson, Haas, Halstead throws up a wild shot, but the top was brought down by Rivera. He'll be called for the contact. 2 shots coming up here for Michael Halstead, and the blue and white faithful see something to cheer about. Halstead to the line in a 17-all game. Great crowd on hand here at the Grutch tonight as Halstead misses the first.
Love the cheerleaders.
Oh, absolutely.
Love their performance in the game.
I hope we'll get another chance to have them take center stage at halftime. Saw that performance in game number 1.
They are fun.
Halstead settles in at the line. Second one won't go either. An open-ended trip off the foul.
Once again, missing the freebies. Leominster is 0 of 4 from the line tonight so far. That's 4 free points.
Swing to the near side, Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes cross court, finds Casanova. Casanova right back to Rodriguez. Off the catch, the take to the lane. Short rebound. McCormick immediately up 4. Immediately stolen back by Kutka Reyes. He'll drop it inside, find Ayala. Kick back, jumper away. Back rim will not go for Casanova. Haas the rebound. Unsettled situation. Haas goes quick outlet, find Johnson. And Leominster steadies the floor. Bounce it in the corner. Haas the drive. That one won't go. And the rebound comes down in the hands of Jeffries.
The battle of the boards tonight has been pretty epic. Rebounding on both sides about equal. But it is a battle in the paint right now.
Reyes, cross court, finds Casanova. Come right back, and Haas steamrolls.
I saw that. That's a foul. I got that one.
Could have called that one, huh?
I
no doubt.
got that one.
Haas was trying to jump the passing lane, got a little too enthusiastic, and Kutka Reyes just settled in and absorbed the body contact.
That'll be his first, team 5th for the Blue Devils.
This is Jeffries. He'll drop it off for Rodriguez. Goes top of the key, looking for Medina newly into the game, and that's an over and back violation. No contact made by the defense.
Took
Ball
a fast break opportunity away from the Blue Devils right there.
Indeed.
Red Raiders caught a break, I think, in the long run.
We got a little problem with our score bug here. We are having some connection
Score bugs,
issues.
got bugs.
We'll get that cleaned up. 17 all, 2:15 to play here in the second quarter.
Can't get the clock to stop running either. This is good.
We'll work it out. Folks at home are very forgiving. Here we go. Back top of the key. Swing. This is Dada. The bounce inside Carr. Into the corner. McCormick, 3 away, too long. Halstead is hooked up with Jeffries. Nice job by Jeffries to free Halstead to avoid a foul.
Got to remember that no shot clock reset.
Right,
help
7
him out.
to shoot, now 5.
help
McCormick
him
swing
out.
Haas, long way from home. McCormick stuck, 2 to shoot, 1. Got it away, but got nothing in particular.
Didn't hear a lot of talking going on down there.
That's Red Raider defense. They smothered that Leominster possession.
Yeah, as soon as they smelled that shot clock running out too, they doubled up everywhere they could.
Once again, I am aware that our clock is running. I cannot stop it at this point in time, so just bear with us. I also cannot change the score.
You can only hope to contain it.
Or the fouls.
So in other words, it's completely broken.
It's broken. I broke it.
Well, let's fix that problem so you'll feel better about it. We'll just
say bye-bye.
Drop it off here on RFM. We'll get that sorted out as Johnson knocks it back toward half court.
Luckily, if you're watching on LTV, I'm sure everything is absolutely perfect with the bug.
Over and back again
unforced
in response
error right
and
there,
going back the other way.
I wouldn't necessarily unforced. Great double over there at the timeline. Red Raiders with no place to go with the ball.
This is Halstead. Halstead comes over the timeline, 1:17 and counting here in the second quarter. Halstead inside for Dada. Dada the clear out. It's an offensive foul. Great job by Ayala. He just stood his ground and let Dada crash into him. That's the second offensive foul Dada has picked up in the second quarter.
And it will be his third.
And he's been kind of quiet on the score sheet too, Kate and Todd, especially in the second quarter.
Very quiet. He has no points this quarter.
Can't get much quieter than that.
Ayala the bounce for Kutka Reyes as we are under a minute to halftime. Kutka launches the three. It won't go. Bodies to the floor. Carr gets the rebound. It's Halstead. Halstead 1-on-4 to nobody in particular, so Ayala with the steal. Ayala now for Kutka. Back down floor, lost the handle. Jeffries gets the shot away. Jeffries spins out of trouble. Working on Carr. Shot does not go. Now Hawes with the race for the basketball. He's 1-on-3. Slowing down here might be a thought, and they will do that. Does Leominster half court left. About a 1-second differential shot clock and game clock. That three will not go. Rebound for Rodriguez. Shot clock off 20 seconds before halftime. And Rodriguez gets ahead of the break and gets himself a lay-in. And the Red Raiders have the lead for the first time tonight at 19-17, 10 seconds before halftime. Now 7 seconds. Go 5.
Come on, come on.
Halstead will take the three. It is long. Rodriguez with 1 second. A half-court heave off the support. And that is how the first half will come to an end here in the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg. The second meeting this season between Fitchburg and Leominster's boys have been everything that we expected and then some. And some last-minute excitement offensively put the Red Raiders just a little bit ahead, 19-17 over Leominster. At the half, Bill Thomas, the Red Raiders, that charge is coming. The shots are starting to fall. Fitchburg right now, in my mind, in a much better position than Leominster was.
Absolutely, with a nice little mini run there at the end of that second quarter. I think 8-2 to close it out there in the final minutes, the final 3 or 4 minutes, taking a nice lead there into halftime.
Leominster scored 2 points the whole quarter.
They had 15 at the quarter, right?
Yep.
So 11-15, I think. So it was that short of a quarter, but still Fitchburg comes out on top in the end.
19-17 in a defensive deadlocked battle here at halftime.
Taking the
at the Grutch. Yes,
Fitchburg
cheerleaders with a halftime performance here. Let's take that performance. Little technical difficulties out on the floor from what we're being told. They're going to reset this portion of their presentation. 19-17. Fitchburg on top of Leominster at the half here on RFL. Fitchburg High School cheerleaders with the halftime performance. Fitchburg on top of Leominster 19-17 at the half. Coming up here at the half on RFM, Kate Robbins will have your first half stats, plus we preview second half action. All that to come. Stick and stay with us. This is high school basketball right here on RFM.
LTV Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors. MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.
Back inside the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, 19-17. Fitchburg on top of Leominster at the half, and great to have you along with us, whether you're joining us live here tonight on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, the multi-platforms of RFM live streaming tonight. Todd Robbins, Kate Robbins, Bill Thomas will be back with us in a matter of moments, or whether you're joining us in delay on Leominster TV or Fitchburg Access Television, we say great to have all of you joining us here tonight. An exciting first half of action, exactly the kind of basketball we expected, and Fitchburg made that late charge heading into halftime to get their first lead of the night and have the lead at the break, 19-17. And Kate, we saw a coaches meeting up here between the Leominster coaching staff trying to figure out what they need to do systematically before they bring that play or their plan into, of course, the team and say, all right, these are the changes we've got to make. I think right now it's about consistent scoring, consistent take to the basket. And although I appreciate you want good defense to transition into really good offense, I think right now Leominster's trying to move a little too fast, and they're ending up in situations where they're doing a little more than they're capable of at the moment.
Well, and I think you're right about that. This is one of those situations where having a veteran coaching staff like Kevin Grutchfield, like Coach Cordio, like Coach Dada out there, you have that kind of like that brain power to be able to understand, okay, almost a century worth of coaching experience to figure out what are the adjustments that need to be made. And we've seen Leominster make those adjustments time and time again. But again, we've kind of been on this seesaw of what version of Leominster is going to show up. So the hope, if you are Leominster's coaching staff, is that the adjustments can be effectively put into place. The difficulty is Leominster's team, particularly on defense, is going up against an enormous amount of athleticism, just absolute pure athleticism. And sometimes the game plan, when you're going up against that and you're in the moment, the game plan kind of goes out the window. And like you said, they're trying to play outside of themselves. They're going up against phenomenally talented athletes. Maybe not basketball athletes, but just pure athletes. And I think that's one of the reasons why Ricky Encarnacion got the start today for the Blue Devils, because he kind of matches that just pure athleticism that you're seeing on the opposite side. I think it's going to be imperative for Leominster to make adjustments, and it's also going to be imperative for them to stick with that game plan. On the flip side, if I'm Fitchburg, if I'm Coach McCall, 2 quarters down, I need 2 more. And they haven't been able to consistently put 4 quarters of quality basketball on the court. He needs 2 more quarters of that.
And of the 7 straight wins they have picked up since they last lost to Leominster back on January 13th, 3 of those games they've held their opponent to under 40 points. And right now, Bill Thomas, they have depressed the scoring in the game. They've shortened the basketball game. So Fitchburg on the defensive side of things, check. Yep. They've gotten what they wanted.
Check to a degree, though, but Leominster's really helped them out. They've missed a number of easy opportunities under the basket. I think if Leominster can finish a lot better in the second half, the opportunities that are represented to them in the first half, I'm sure those opportunities will continue to come. They just haven't been able to finish at the rim. Number of opportunities, number of layups, a couple of offensive fouls against Dada. So, you know, it's been a struggle offensively, but not for lack of opportunities on the Leominster end. Fitchburg's just got to keep doing what you're doing. You're right. Their athleticism just overpowers you. Might not be pure basketball skills all around, but their athleticism, their ability to that quick first step, continually trying to drive. I see him running a lot of clear outs, doing a lot of one-on-ones. Blue Devils just got to be attentive to that and be able to jump in and play some help defense, cut those lanes off, but let Fitchburg go one-on-one. I don't really think that's the route to success for them. Blue Devils got to stop finishing, just play a little bit of defense on the other end.
Kate, before we get started with third quarter action, stats at the half.
Stats quickly for Fitchburg team totals: 12 rebounds, 4 steals, 11 turnovers. They've got scoring contributions from Rivera, Kutka with a team high 6, Rodriguez with 4, Bryson with 2, Jeffries with 3. On the flip side, team totals: Leominster with 13 rebounds, 3 steals, 11 turnovers. Right now you have Dada with the team high 8 points, but Leominster only had 1 basket in the second quarter, and that was from Chase Hawes. They're also 0 of 4 at the line.
And those are the numbers as we hit the first half break and ready for second half action here inside the gym at Leominster High School tonight. Plenty of action ahead with the season ahead into next week. Our schedule is going to be a little bit flexible here over the next few days. The next few game actions, we'll have more on that schedule ahead coming up as we continue on into the second half.
My favorite changes in the schedule.
8 minutes up on the board, and away we go here in the second half. 19-17 Fitchburg with the lead at the half and the basketball to start the second. Ayala with the underhand scoop. Finds Jeffries, the drive, basket's good, and a foul.
Yikes.
And right out of the locker room, here come the Red Raiders. Jeffries gets into open space, gets the lay-in, absorbs a little contact. He can get a three-point play and increase this Red Raider lead.
Once again, an athletic one-on-one play there that he completes at the rim. Gets himself a trip to the foul line.
Hawes picks up his first team first, and that does not go.
It does not. Hawes is able to run it down, and here comes Leominster's first possession of the second half. 25 seconds into this third quarter, 21-17 Fitchburg's lead. Both teams with their starting 5 out on the floor. It's McCormick, 3 away for Leominster. Hard in and out. He gets bodied off the play.
No
to
whistle?
the floor, none at
no
all.
whistle there.
Bryson comes up with that ball. Finds Kutka in transition. The drive, shot up, side of the basket. Follow-on won't go for Bryson. Third opportunity, draws the foul, and Bryson is going to the line to shoot 2.
There's no foul down there?
Old-time arch rival, Big East basketball here in the Mid-Watch League.
There was no foul?
Bodies banging all over the place, but Fitchburg with a good job down here, a couple of offensive rebounds.
I saw a hip check.
One of those leading to a couple of foul shots.
That one won't go for Bryson. 7:13 to play here in the third. 21-17. Fitchburg's advantage.
Halstead picks up his first, by the way. It's team second for Leominster.
Kate, quick peek back at the first meeting between these two schools.
Yep.
When Leominster, of course, won that basket, good, as Bryson gets the second of the 2 free throws, 22-17, 7:08 to play in third. What was the halftime split at meeting number 1?
Back to the archives I go. Halftime, it was 41-40 advantage Fitchburg at the half.
And a game Leominster won.
Oh, wait, pardon me. Nope. 32-25 advantage Fitchburg at the half.
A game Leominster won 61-50. Much higher scoring affair. Dada's 3 rattles out. Carr tried the follow. It went out of his hands, out of bounds. Nice battle between him and Ayala on the rebound, and it's Fitchburg basketball. And here comes Kutka with the right-hand dribble and the slow, steady walk up the floor. He finds Rodriguez. Half court to the left. 6.5 and counting to play here in the third. Kutka foul line. Kick. 3 away. For Jeffries, it won't go. And McCormick scrambles back into the play for the rebound.
By the way, Jeffrey's shoe game on point tonight.
Indeed it is. Call that strawberry pink. Swing for Donna, back for Jaden Johnson. McCormick, foul line, Carr. Encarnacion. McCormick 3, and he hits. A sorely needed three-pointer for Terrence McCormick.
That's some good in and out offense right there. You get the defense turning their heads, create an open shot.
2 minutes gone by here in the third, and Leominster draws back within 2. It's 22-20.
Call that treble.
Kutka at the half circle, steps up now to the arc. Swing, corner, finds Bryson. Shot away, catches 2 rims, it won't go. Follow on, and Encarnacion swings at it. He got contact. Here we go the other way. Johnson down floor, couldn't find Donna. Out of play, an immediate giveaway, and once again, transition, trying to do too much too fast.
They had 4 on 2 right there, but pass for Kai just missed its mark. Is it to Dada? Couldn't compete.
A little out of control.
That's sort of where they're at. They're at that tenuous point between effective aggressiveness and completely and utterly off the rails, out of control. As that one will roll out of play. Dada tried to give pursuit. Fitchburg will keep the basketball.
It's all about completing your opportunities, Todd, and Leominster still is letting him slip away.
Bryson over his head, bullets one, up top, Rodriguez, touch pass, corner for Torres, three, and it rattles home. Fitchburg lead is 5 once again at 25-20.
One of the things that Fitchburg has been doing well is if you're going to give them a free look, they have been able to execute pretty consistently all night long. So when somebody's open and they find them, when they get that open look, they've been very effective.
Dada with the right hand dribble. Gave it up. Now Jack Dada flashes. Fine Carr, foul line, bothered, and taken away. And Coach Crutchfield immediately to the bench says, Hawes, get to the table. Torres missed the lay-in. Swing back Rodriguez. Now Jeffries, stutter and drive. Kick Bryson into the hands of Torres.
They're going to reset.
Indeed.
Offense very frenetic right now for Fitchburg.
15 seconds to shoot. Jeffries, little space. Push shot is good.
As soon as they get themselves under control, he finds himself a spot.
Red Raiders keep expanding that largest lead of the night to 7 at 27-20.
And Bill Thomas, I think that's been the difference. When Fitchburg's been a little bit out of control, they've reset. Leominster hasn't reset.
Encarnacion misses the lay-in, and then an open field tackle now to the floor. Still no whistles. Carr the drive, body contact, and Rodriguez is going to get whistled for the block.
Oh, boy.
Got to call something there eventually. Bodies flying everywhere. And I'm surprised that Encarnacion didn't get called for traveling there, rolling around on the floor with the ball, but he got away with one.
So I guess second half here, the message has been they're going to let them play.
And that is, of course, a tenuous decision the officials make.
With this group. Not the group, but this group.
Of arch rivals.
At what point do you start changing your philosophy, though, and tighten it up?
Leominster 0-5 from the line as a team.
0-4.
In the Big East of the 1980s, Billy, they waited until they threw punches. So, it's all a depending thing.
We're not going to get there.
Dylan Carr at the line.
0 of 6.
Not able to finish that. There was a whistle on the rebounding action. It was a lane violation against Leominster, and the ball will go back to Fitchburg. And a timeout taken. 4:03 to play in the third quarter. Red Raider lead is 27-20, and right now, everything going the way of Fitchburg.
Not only that, you put the 6 freebies from the free throws for Leominster. This would be a 1-point game, plus any of those missed bunnies. Different ball game.
Yeah, it's really been about failure to convert around the rim, in the lane, but there's nothing worse than going over from the foul line. When you're talking about, those opportunities, even if you made half of those opportunities create a one-possession game, that's going to be big coming down the stretch. Those lost points, you're never going to get those back.
4:03 to play third quarter, 27-20. Fitchburg on top of Leominster, and a busy night here inside the gym at Leominster High School.
Do we know who the gentleman, Jeffries
Doug
is?
Crutchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, excuse me.
Kate
was interrupting me as we were doing that.
I do that. Do we know the gentleman who was talking to Jeffries on his own job? The rest of the Red Raiders team was in a huddle with Coach McCall. Jeffries was grabbing some water and talking to another gentleman on his own.
He's on the bench.
No idea. Yeah, he's on the bench. He's right next to the coaching staff.
I believe that's Coach Mike Baltier.
Let's give him a quick look in case anybody wants to chime in. The gentleman right there with the gray sweatshirt.
Interesting having a one-on-one convo with Jeffries in that huddle. Very interesting.
Without question.
Kutka with the ball, but throws it away. Tipped, however. But they are going to say that it is going to be Leominster ball. So Kutka throws that away. Yet first turnover of the second half for the Red Raiders. And right now, Dada to Dada, which we saw the other day around the perimeter becoming a problem. Terrence McCormick deep from 3, but misses. Rebound down for Fitchburg. And back down court we go. Kutka with the ball yet again. Tipped by McCormick. Tries to save it, but is out of bounds. And that will stay the way of the white and gray.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate that.
Blue Devils really missing McCormick's offense tonight.
They are.
They think he's the missing piece on the offensive end.
Just into the backcourt, Ayala. Ayala will find Kutka, and they will settle half court to the left. 3.5 to play here in the third. Bounces to the corner. This is a Torres three. Side rim, no. Followed shot, deflected to Bryson. Dada got a handle on it, and once again, out of control action here, and Jack Dada will steady things and bring it into the half court for Leominster. Find McCormick. Now for Dada. For Justin Dada. Three away. Back rim, no. Rebound brought down for Torres.
Single attempts, possessions for Leominster. Kutka once again runs the point. He's got Encarnacion looking to pick his pocket.
Great if it works, but unfortunately not so much. Ayala goes back to the top of the key, finds Kutka. Kutka working with Rivera. 2:45 to play here in the third. Into the corner, it's Ayala. 10 to shoot now. Ayala the drive. Baseline will not go.
Oh boy.
Looks for the bounce, and Dada is caught, and now they're going to say it's a reach-in foul.
Well, that was a bailout there. It looked like a little Harlem Globetrotter maneuver.
And
all of a sudden, they called Dada for a foul.
Coach Kevin Grutchfield not happy about it.
I didn't see it there, but odd opportunity to blow the whistle.
What a great crowd on hand from both communities tonight, filling up the field house.
I think they're still filing in, too.
I believe they are.
I think they missed some of the game.
There's the drive. Pitch it into the corner here. It's Torres. Torres bounces for Rivera. Rivera, swing for Jeffries three. Front rim, no. Torres crashes, rebound. Haas got a piece of it, but Rivera came out of traffic with it. Rivera out of the sideline. He crossed over out of bounds. Leominster basketball.
And Bill Thomas, if I'm Leominster, I'm thrilled that Jeffries wants to try to make that shot from behind the arc, because he has been absolutely indestructible in the paint tonight. So if I'm Leominster and Jeffries wants to live out there, have fun, have at it, stay out there.
Dada finds Encarnacion, swing to Dada, three away, back rim, no. Tipped rebound, out with it is Medina.
Nice job right there, pulling it back, getting under control, not forcing anything.
And that has been the difference for the Red Raiders. Here comes McCormick with the steal. Gets ahead of Rivera. Rivera with the block. To Haas. Rivera contested that one. No call. The baseline battle for the ball. And Rivera comes out with it. And Coach Crutchfield is absolutely out of his mind, upset. Coach James McCall is going to spend the timeout. Stop the clock at the 1:40 mark of the third quarter. 27-20. Fitchburg's lead.
How many Riveras were on the court during that sequence?
It sure seemed like more than one. He was everywhere he needed to be, and that is what Coach McCall said this team was missing, and they have had in this 7-game winning streak.
2 blocks and a rebound. Gets them out of trouble.
Bill Thomas, second quarter.
How many?
Well, in the second quarter, Leominster had 2 points.
How many in this quarter?
In the third quarter, Leominster has 3 points.
I knew that's where
we have
you
a
were
minute
headed.
and 40 to go. In 2 quarters of boys
16,
varsity basketball,
15 minutes
you
of
have
basketball.
2 made baskets from the field in boys varsity basketball in an arch rivalry game.
5 points in 15 minutes. I don't care who you're playing. That's not going to win you any ball game.
But that speaks to the defense that Fitchburg has been playing on the floor. Leominster has been no slouch defensively, but it's not been effective. They haven't been able to turn it into points.
And Fitchburg has tightened up their interior defense. Leominster has had nowhere near as many opportunities in the paint as they did in the first half.
I mean, let's make no mistake. Fitchburg has not been prolific on offense, but unbelievably stifling on defense in the second and the third quarters. For you to keep a varsity basketball team of Leominster's caliber to 5 points in 15 minutes of play clock, that's unbelievable.
96 seconds left here in the third quarter, and here comes Kutka. Kutka over for Medina. Medina inside for Jeffries. Back out, Kutka. Open look at 3. Had a side spiral, but it will fall.
Nice friendly bounce off the rim right there.
80 seconds left in the third, and the Red Raiders have expanded their lead to 10+.
My word.
McCormick to respond. Will not. One-shot possession again. And Kutka the rebound.
No Blue Raiders under the Blue Devils under the basket for a rebounding opportunity.
Billy, you see a Blue Raider,
I'm seeing Raiders everywhere.
Ball is out of bounds as Rodriguez ran out of real estate along the baseline. Action will turn back to Leominster. Yeah, I would say Fitchburg was going for the inbound there, but Leominster is like, no, it's our ball. 1:04 to play here in the third quarter. Leominster is chasing 10. It has not been often they have trailed by 10 in a game, to say nothing of just how quiet offensively both teams have been.
Leominster struggling mightily from the floor.
Haas, the drive, kiss off the glass is good. And Leominster within 8.
Keep working inside.
15 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Kutka finds Ayala, back to Kutka. Open three. That one won't go. Haas tapped that rebound, and it is out of bounds. Fitchburg will keep the basketball. After the reset, there is a 2-second differential. 34 seconds on the shot clock, 36 6/10 on the game clock. Medina finds an inbound for Kutka. Kutka will dribble it all the way back to the top of the key. Drop it off now for Medina. Medina goes corner Jeffries. Jeffries triple threat, now drives. On Haas, it's a one-on-one game, and he walked with it.
Oh, I had holding too.
Yeah, picked up the pivot foot there and tried to swim his way to the basket. Shot clock off. Leominster gets the ball back. Chasing 8, 22 seconds left here in the third.
Chase some credit there. Play some good hands-up defense. Cut him off. No path to the basket.
Dada to Encarnacion, back to Dada. Swing top of the key, and now Dada stands all the way back out toward half court.
Not going to score any points out there, boys.
7 seconds. Dada drives, and a block gets whistled. This will get whistled against Ayala. In the act of shooting was Dada. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Only the second team foul for
No,
Fitchburg.
they're going to say that was on the drive.
So that's a chart. Okay.
And that will be a foul line extended inbound.
All right.
Johnson for Haas. Haas gets the basket, bodies to the floor, and that's the way we will end the third quarter.
Wow.
Neither coach happy with the men wearing stripes, but at the end of 3 here at the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, it's Fitchburg 30 and Leominster 24 through 3.
So let me
at
point
the Grutch
something
tonight.
out. When both coaches are out there and they're each confronting different officials, that really tells you that nobody's happy. I'll get them both in the same picture. You don't see this very often, but yeah, both sides having discussions with the officials.
Each
They
coach
both give them a pat and walk
and
away.
say, all right, we've said
All
our
right.
piece.
Yeah, I love it. Part of
3
the rivalry.
quarters in the books here from the Grutch tonight. The all-important fourth and final quarter on deck. It is Fitchburg 30 and Leominster 24. Kate, through 3 quarters, I see you've got the numbers in front of you. What stands out?
Fitchburg's winning.
Indeed, by 6 points, but
Sorry, just tabulating.
more than that.
When you take a look at the stat sheet right now, again, Fitchburg has a number of contributors. They have both Kutka and Jeffries knocking on the door of double digits right now. Dada has remained quiet for Leominster since the first quarter. Once again, Leominster in the second quarter and in the third quarter combined 2 made baskets from the field. They have been kept to 5 points in 16 minutes of varsity boys basketball.
It's a staggering absence of offense for Leominster, and they've got to find it. Final 8 minutes of regulation has begun to tick. Leominster the basketball, half court to the right. Johnson for Dada. Johnson will dribble back top of the key. Swing for Justin Dada. For Johnson. Johnson to Hawes. Back to Johnson. 3 away. Put an assist on the tally for Dada, but Jaden Johnson gets the 3 and brings Leominster within 3. 30 seconds into the fourth. Kutka the drive. Hawes makes the contact, and Hawes is going to go to the line. And this is my expectation. After we saw the conversations at the end of the third quarter, I expect a fourth quarter with much tighter officiating, many more whistles, and that is going to potentially change the complexion of the final quarter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised. You know, both coaches, I think, would like to see this tightened up a little bit before things get out of hand.
That one will go down for Kutka at the line.
That's Jack Dada's third, by the way, team 4th for the Blue Devils.
Kutka at the line. Looks for his second. That one will not go, but Jeffries the rebound. Chance for a 3-point possession. Push shot up will not go. Follow on. It's Ayala who got underneath. Lay-in is good. A 3-point possession for Fitchburg. 33-27. 7:13 to play here in the fourth. Dada for Dada, left side of the arc. Swing back top of the key, Johnson. Back to Dada, now Jack Dada. Step up, 3 from the left side. Back rim, no. Johnson crashes on the rebound. They say Rodriguez with the touch, and the official on the baseline awards the ball to Leominster.
Johnson was ready to head up court, too. You know, fortunate turn of events for the Blue Devils right there. Nice
The inbound for Dada, and that one will go. First points, Keat, since the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. The number is now 25.
Brings him to 975 for his career and his chase for 1,000 points. Inside. That's Jeffries with the jab step, step back, and good.
There's no way to defend that.
That is beautiful. 35-29. Elijah Jeffries with the textbook. Hawes to Encarnacion. Send it back out for Jack Dada. Cross court. That was Johnson. Tried to make the extra pass. It got knocked down. Dada spins loose. Open three from the left. Will not go. And Medina the rebound. Medina goes up floor, finds Ayala. And Ayala will let everybody balance the floor. And the Red Raiders have done a good job setting up their half-court offense after making an aggressive move in transition. Float entry from Medina for Ayala. Swim move 3 times over, and the shot just short of the mark.
The officials let him swim all the way across the lane there, too.
This is Dada. Dada for Dada. Down low on the left block. It's Hawes. Back to Dada. Swing around. And this is Justin Dada with the ball at the half circle and 18 to shoot. He'll float for Jack Dada. Bounce into the lane. Find Hawes. Hawes in a double team. Underhand. Find Dada. The lay-in is good. And a timeout immediately taken by Leominster as they close to within 4. It's 5:29 to play here in the fourth. 35-31.
Hawes doing a good job fighting off that double team. You know, when you double, somebody's going to be open. Look for that cutter, and that's what we found.
The number is 23.
What action we have seen here. And we can say, with that total, coming into the night, 965 was his career total. Good enough to be tied for second all-time with Brian Haschig. Justin Dada, with his points tonight, has now moved into second place solely as he chases Ryan Turbide's 1,300 and change to be the all-time leading scorer in program history, and that seems like a tall task. Excuse me, 1,136. 1,136 is the number.
I know Justin's chasing that, but all the points in the world isn't going to make him happy if they can't win. So I'm sure he'd trade anything for a win tonight, even if it means he doesn't score the rest of the way.
And I think your point is absolutely right, but it says something about the team potentially. I don't want to say they've been forcing it to him because I think their problems have been more systematic,
I agree.
but they are expecting him to be the guy that carries it night in and night out, and that just can't always be the case. Other people have got to step up around him.
Something we talk about almost, I wouldn't say incessantly, but it's something that we talk about frequently, and it's something that Coach Grutchfield has also, relayed in post-game interviews as well, that you can't just rely on Justin on a night like tonight with the pressure that's, building on him as an individual for his individual accomplishments. You've got to have other people involved.
Out of the timeout, Fitchburg with the basketball. 5:14 and counting to play here in the fourth. Ayala on Halstead, side of the backboard, got the ball back, now tied up. It is a held ball, and the alternate possession is red and gray. Fitchburg keeps the basketball. 5:08 to play here in the fourth quarter. 35-31. Ball put into play. Medina finds Ayala, swinging around through Kutka for Casanova and right back to Kutka. 8 to shoot here. Now 5. Kutka on Halstead to his right, splits 2, short of the mark, and Dada's got the rebound. Under 5 to play here in the fourth. Leominster chasing 4. Dada, push shot down the lane, won't roll, got his own follow, and that lay-in is good.
Good job staying with it right there.
Number is 21.
Number is 2 is the only number that anybody really cares about right now, though. Fitchburg's lead is down to 2.
35-33. Medina with the high scoop shot in the response. 37-33. 4:23 and counting to play here in the fourth. Johnson for Dada. Dada for Hawes. Hawes, low block for Encarnacion, and Dada's going to take it all the way back to midcourt. He'll hand it over for Johnson. Halfway through this fourth quarter, Leominster is chasing a 4-point lead. Hawes, some space. The leaner will not go. And for Hawes, Kate, I believe he's still scoreless tonight, but more importantly, it's only about the second shot or so he's taken.
He's had a couple of good looks under the basket. Most of them been contested, though. unable to convert.
It's okay, you can correct me, he's had 6. There's nothing wrong with that. It just feels like he's disappeared in this one. Ayala's 3 won't go. Dada's got the rebound. 3.5 to play in the fourth. Dada the drive, finger roll, got the block whistled. And Dada's going to the line to shoot 2. 3.5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter in a 37-33 lead for the Red Raiders.
See if we can't get off the.
I wasn't gonna do it. I looked down. I was like, "Whoa, boy!"
What, for the first time in 13 years?
You can teach an old dog new tricks. That's all that means.
Dada drops the first.
I think that's the first foul shot that the Blue Devils have converted on tonight, Kate.
That's correct. They are 1 of 7, Bill Thomas.
That is not good. Not good at all.
You're gonna stop making them. No better time than now.
I love this step performance. Love it.
Dada gets them both. Here comes Medina. 3:25 to play here in the fourth quarter. 37-35. Fitchburg's lead is 2. Medina the driving kick for Bryson. 3 will not go. Pinball. Carr steadies and comes out with the rebound.
I think that's one of the few open shots that Fitchburg has not converted on.
Dada the drive. Scoop off the glass. Does not go. And Bryson the rebound. Bryson for Medina. Medina the drive. Scoop shot response does. 39-35 under 3 to play. Hawes right back down floor. Count the basket and the block is called.
Good job on the finish that time.
Now he's got 8, Todd.
That is response for response. 39-37. Hawes can bring Leominster within 1. 2:53 to play in the fourth quarter.
You know, especially if Dada missed that runner. Red Raiders came right down with their own layup. Blue Devils never let their foot off the gas, came back down quickly and found themselves with a basket and an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Hawes is at the line. Chance to complete a 3-point play. Shot away, does not go. Crash for the rebound. Medina comes out with it, and there's a foul on the rebounding action, and Ricky Encarnacion is going to get billed as the second player in there for Leominster, creating the body contact.
Trying to get that held ball situation, unable to. Grab an arm instead of ball.
What a crowd on hand here at the Grutch tonight. They have been engaged from the tip-off.
Jeffries faked me out. I thought he was going to give that.
Gave it up to Kutka. 2:37 to play in the fourth.
What a
the drive, Kutka does not go. Jeffries' follow-on doesn't either. Still got the ball, though. Turnaround shot. It will go.
Oh, what a battle right there. Big man underneath.
41-37, Fitchburg's advantage. 2:22 to play in the fourth quarter.
Jeffries right now with a team-high 11 points for the Red Raiders.
Dada for Johnson. Back to Dada. Now over for Dada. Jack Dada with the basketball. One bounce, gave up the dribble.
He needs help.
Drops it off for Hawes. Gets it right back. He'll take it all the way back, top of the key, swing for Johnson. Now Dada. Thought about it, comes back to Johnson. Swing, Jack Dada. Had some thoughts, bouncing inside Encarnacion. Back for Dada. Now Justin Dada. Drive foul line. Kick Johnson. Open 3. Front rim, no. Tip. Loose ball. Johnson will run it down. Find Dada, who made the extra pass into the hands of Medina with the steal.
Passed up a little 6-footer right there.
And an immediate timeout as they cross half court. Coach James McCall stops the clock. 1:41 to play in the fourth quarter with a 41-37 advantage and 30 seconds to shoot on the possession. What a treat. Another fantastic installment in a battle between these two schools.
Coming right down to the last possession, I think, but it's unfortunate. Justin didn't go up with that one. Tried to make that extra pass. Led to a turnover. Fitchburg with possession and a 4-point lead.
Great to have you along with us wherever you've joined us tonight. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. So pleased to have you a part of our family over the last couple of hours, whether you have joined us here on RFM via YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, or you've joined us at Media Rivalry on Twitter. What a night, and we're not done yet. Call your friends, hop on the stream. The action continues here, and you can catch full replays in delay with our partners at Leominster TV. Bradley Bedard here bringing the pictures and their partnership through to Fitchburg Access Television. And once again, a big thank you to Nate Glennie, Travis Falk, and the staff at FATV, along with the IT department here in Fitchburg, for helping us work through some technical difficulties. Also, Athletic Director Craig Antossi, always a phenomenal host.
Bill Thomas Todd was in one of his favorite words, apoplectic.
Oh, I was apoplectic, there ain't no doubt. Thank you to everyone for helping us work through those technical challenges. Here's the drive. Foul line kick, Kutka. Kutka for Ayala. 84 seconds left in regulation. Here's the swing. This is a Rodriguez. Drive. Deflected. Check it. Bryson. Loose ball. Hawes tried to protect Ayala. It goes out of play. And they say Leominster basketball. And Coach James McCall says there are bodies laying here. Somebody did something. No call. 4-point game. Final minute 15 of regulation. Halstead for Dada. Dada gets bumped by Ayala. Got a little too close. Only the 5th foul whistled against the Red Raiders. Fouls at 5 aside here in the second half. Johnson finds Encarnacion for Halstead. Swing for Dada. Dada to take double team. Cross court, find Johnson. Johnson for Halstead. Halstead, drive, foul line, bounce. Dada, left-hand drive, scoop shot, short, deflected, Encarnacion the rebound, turnaround, Encarnacion gets fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. 53 3/10 left in regulation. 41-37 Fitchburg with Encarnacion in 2 shots coming up.
Gotta start making these foul shots.
Administrators and police on hand from both communities doing a phenomenal job of crowd control tonight as they move into position for what's coming up post-game. Encarnacion banks that one in. 41-38.
Turns it into a one-possession game. Very important, making that first shot.
Second one will not go. Hawes juggled, rebound, kept it alive. Leominster still with the basketball. But the giveaway, it's Rodriguez. Down floor, working on Johnson. No foul called. Jeffries with the ball, cycles back up top. And now a timeout taken by Coach McCall. 39 7/10 left in the fourth quarter. 27 to shoot on this possession. Red Raiders with the basketball and a 41-38 lead, and the Fitchburg offense has gotten a little quiet here down the stretch.
Yeah, but I tell you, big opportunity missed. That offensive rebound off that missed foul shot, but that quick turnover. Should have taken a chance maybe to bounce off the floor, trying to make a play a little too quick, and Red Raiders get the ball back.
Our next broadcast here on RFM coming up on Tuesday night as Leominster will play host to Shrewsbury. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off at the gym at Leominster High School. We'll have that action for you coming up at 6:45 on the stream here on RFM, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch as Justin Dada continues on his chase for 1,000.
I'll be checking in from sunny Daytona Beach, Florida.
As our Motorsports Insider heads down to the Daytona 500.
I have to count his baskets and do the camera.
I've been following along here.
No.
981 is the tally by what I have in front of me.
You have to do the scoreboard though, right?
We'll figure it out.
Division of Labor is going to be epic.
39 7/10 left here in the fourth quarter. Kate and I will be just fine.
You guys will figure it out.
I don't think so.
She acts like we've never done this before. It's like, I mean, really.
I think we need to get Patrick's help.
Married for, 6 years. We can figure this out. We're smart people.
But we made another human, so can't he help?
Eventually, he can in this little Partridge family. Away we go. 30 seconds left here in the fourth. About a 12-second differential. Halstead takes the bank off of his knees and out of bounds. Kutka wanted a foul call that never came. 15 to shoot. 27 6/10 left here in the fourth. Leominster now must have a stop and then get the basketball back. Jeffries had a wide open look and decided to run off clock, and then Halstead gives the foul.
I don't think you have much choice there, but Kutka, nice job right there getting that reset on the shot clock. He was trapped. Bounced it off a Leominster player. Not going to be shooting yet, though. Next one, both teams will be in the 1-and-1.
Jeffries bounced the inbound for Ayala. Get it right back to Jeffries. Shot clock off. Leominster gives the foul. 21 6/10 left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want Dada giving that foul up, though, especially the way this game is going. Turns into an overtime game. He's one foul away from taking a seat.
Yep, that's his fourth foul.
And now whistles. This is a 1-and-1 opportunity on the 7th foul. Whistled against Leominster.
Want to make some changes now in case this foul shot's not converted. They can't wait.
Encarnacion and Alstead out. Offense for defense here. Dada and Hawes have the lower rebounding positions. Jeffries can't get the front end to go. Hawes the rebound. Leominster with the ball. 18 seconds, needing 3 points. It's Dada with the ball. And now Coach Kevin Grudgefield, seeing his team sort of looking like that double overtime against Wachusett, which is lost with no prospects, spends a timeout with 12 9/10 left in the fourth quarter.
I'm sure this is about clock awareness more than anything, Todd and Kate.
Clock awareness, but also, once again, the people you don't necessarily want to have the ball behind the three-point arc are standing there with blue jerseys going, I don't want this.
Looking for the next person to pass it to.
I'm not a senior leader.
And that's where clock awareness comes in. You don't want the ball. You're looking for the next guy to pass it to, and the clock's ticking.
The famous Gene Hackman line from the replacements, winners always want the ball.
Yep.
And right now, there's a lot of people out there that was looking like they didn't want the ball. And Coach Kevin Grudgefield says, timeout, we need to huddle up and figure this out.
Well, I think who wants the ball more than anybody is Justin Dada, and I'm sure the Fitchburg Red Raiders know that. I wouldn't be surprised to see him double or triple him. And a two-point is not going to win it for him. Give him the underneath and guard that three-point line.
So you're going to see Fitchburg's defense spread.
I would think so.
Yep. We're going to see a 2-3 zone.
But you never know.
That has been Leominster's enemy here, or a 3-2 or a 2-3. That's where they have really struggled.
With the man-to-man principles?
That's right.
Do you trade the two and then give up the foul and try to make your foul shots? I mean, there's a lot of strategy that can go on here at 12.9.
A foul in the act of shooting would be 2 shots. Any foul whistled against Fitchburg would be a 1-and-1. And now Coach James McCall looks at what Leominster does and says, I'll spend a timeout of my own.
So does Fitchburg just foul and put him at the line and then take away that three-point opportunity? Another thing to think about.
That is another potential. You look at sort of the situation, how the tactical lines up, and then you don't have any other choice. Give the foul. Best it's 2 points.
Don't do it beyond the three-point arc.
Correct.
Yeah.
And in the act of shooting.
Yes.
That's the other, sort of balance that you have to have. Coming up post-game on this one, we'll have the complete stat recap. Perhaps some coaches will join us up here in our broadcast position, high above courtside. No guarantees either way, but if somebody comes within our...
Frederick stop
by, said hello.
After the game,
of course, we were
switching
in the transition from one stream to another. Thank you for spending your night with us wherever and whenever you have. Glad to have you with us as you start your weekend here in February. 12 9/10 left here in the fourth. 41-38. Fitchburg's lead is 3. Leominster with the basketball, no shot clock. Got to have 3 points in some way on this possession. Dada will handle the inbound. He will find Jack Dada and the clock begins. Now 10 seconds. McCormick for Dada. Dada gets bodied off the play and hard to the floor. Rivera was looking for a tie-up, except for the lower body hip check. That's going to be a problem. 1-and-1. Justin Dada goes to the foul line. 7 2/10 left here in the fourth.
Now what do you play for strategy? You got to make this first one.
Got to have the first one.
Then you miss.
Figure the rest out.
Then you miss.
But you got to hit something.
Rim.
You got to hit the rim. That's the key. Can't miss everything.
Got to go deep.
Dada has been perfect at the foul line. He's hit the only free throws Leominster has hit tonight. Front end, short, tipped, loose ball. Medina's got it. McCormick will give the foul. 5 2/10 left in the fourth. And the Red Raiders are 5 2/10 seconds away. One defensive stand from winning this basketball game.
Making the front end of this one-on-one is going to pretty much cement things, too.
That is an entire important point as well, but it is a 1-and-1.
I think the Blue Devils fell asleep down here on that rebounding situation. Nobody moved off the blocks on that miss. Don't know if they weren't aware of the one-on-one situation, but couldn't get that rebound.
End of game situations will continue to be the bugaboo. That one won't go, but the rebound for Jeffries, immediately fouled. No shot. 3 7/10 left. Jeffries is going to the line on the 9th foul whistled against Leominster. 3rd against Ricky Encarnacion for another 1-1. Leominster,
missed the opportunity.
The window here
rebound,
is so tight if they are going to have even a shot.
Rebound with an immediate timeout, I think. About all you can do here.
Jeffries
Even at that, a timeout will not advance the ball. Jeffries still over. Tap, loose ball. Encarnacion with it. Hawes immediately calls the timeout. 1 7/10 left. But the inbound for Leominster will be in front of the Red Raider bench at foul line extended.
That's all right. It's better than baseline. Get a good look.
They're walking them back to that baseline, Bill Thomas. You can't advance it on the timeout, but the timeout was given somewhere around half court.
Coach Cordio talking to one of the officials right now.
Yeah, he probably wants to know why the inbounds is back on the baseline and not on the sideline where the rebound was.
The timeout called by Hawes was by that G in Fitchburg on the baseline, but the ball status was at foul line extended.
That's why I'm wondering why that, and I'm sure that's what
and Coach
Cordio
Dada
wants
right
to
now.
know.
They're
Why
talking.
why they're not over there on the
Now
sideline.
he's relaying in. We're at baseline. We're not on.
Correct, as Coach Crutchfield is drawing up the play. 1 7/10 left in the fourth quarter. That inbound spot is crucial. You've got to get it to the right guy, and Dada is going to be double covered here.
Yep.
So you got to get it to somebody who can speed down floor and get to a credible position. 1 7/10 is more than a catch and shoot, but it's got to be fast.
You're likely looking for something like Terrence McCormick, who has been one of their perimeter shooters. He is down all the way at the three-point mark.
Clock does not start until it is touched, so
Correct.
a long pass down floor is a potential strategy.
Yep.
Jaden Johnson, the sophomore, will hold Leominster's future in his hands.
I think all the Blue Devils should be up in the front court here.
Yes.
Johnson for Dada. Dada blocked at the half-court heave. And the Red Raiders have won. And they have won 8 in a row. And avenged a loss from back in January. What a night for the Fitchburg Red Raiders.
Tell you, they took control of this game in the second quarter and never looked back.
41-38. Fitchburg with an end-to-end victory tonight. Play it off the defensive end and finish it with just enough offense.
And they've showed what kind of team they've matured into over the last month, since the last meeting over at the Leominster gym, and they're well on their way to the playoffs. They're playing great basketball at the perfect time of year.
You'll want to play your best basketball at the end, and 8 in a row is where Coach McCall's bunch finds themselves. Their next game, Valentine's Day, Tuesday at Wachusett. 7 p.m. tip-off out in Holden. Leominster's next game, Tuesday, February 14th, at home against Shrewsbury. Leominster with 3 straight home games to close the season, 7 o'clock. On February the 14th, we'll have that action for you here on RFM with a 6:45 stream starting on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, as Justin Dada will continue his chase of 1,000 as well. What a night. What a night here at the Grutch tonight. Another exciting chapter added to that manual.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything we come to expect when these two teams match up, but Blue Devils came out on the short end of the scoreboard tonight, and I think they could play 10 times to go 5-5. I don't care what kind of seasons these two teams are having when they match up. We know it's going to come right down to the last possession most games, and proved it out tonight.
Kate will tabulate her final stats. We will recap a doubleheader night, a split. Leominster takes the girls' game number 1. Fitchburg authoritatively takes game number 2 by a score of 41-38. And 8 straight wins for the Red Raiders. They are now 10-4. Leominster falls 8-7 on the season. So much more to come. Stick and stay with us. Stand by. Action continues right here in a moment. You're watching high school basketball right here on RFM. Back inside the Doug Grutchfield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, the celebration continues out on the floor as the Red Raider faithful have a lot to cheer about tonight here at home. Their 8th win in a row, a 41-38 win over Leominster, a game that they seemingly commanded from the mid to latter part of the first half and all the way through the second half. As we welcome you back high above the playing surface here at the Grutch. Todd Robbins, Kate Robbins, Bill Thomas there with us as well. And Leominster comes up short, 41-38. Great to have you with us here on RFM and continuing along in delay on Leominster TV and FATV as well. Kate, 41-38. Fitchburg just flat out played better in the middle to latter stages of this basketball game.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. And the most alarming stat was Leominster's offensive production in the second and the third quarter. Kudos to Leominster for making this such a close game, considering the basket literally had a lid on it. They had 5 total points in 16 minutes of game in the second and the third quarter. So kudos to Leominster. I mean, that was a spectacular effort to remain in this game. Defense on both sides, though, was stifling all night long, but Leominster missed a lot of open opportunities, a lot of one-shot possessions for Leominster on offense, and Fitchburg seemingly, when you gave them an open look, they made you pay.
And Bill Thomas, as we welcome you back in here as well, I think I'm going to give you the first crack at this question, and Kate can chime in as well, and that is, where have you gone, the Leominster team, from the first half of the year? I mean, I think the only word you can use to describe the performance of Leominster to this stage is underperform, and that is what they have done. They have underperformed the skill level that they clearly possess.
Well, and I don't think it was from lack of opportunities. They had plenty of opportunities tonight. They just were not able to convert under the brim and, take advantage of a number of layups, a number of open shots. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say this 1,000-point chase for Justin Dowder might be playing on him a little bit. I think that they might be, the other players on the court might be looking for him, making that extra pass for him. And when he gets the ball, he could be pressing a little bit. I think they just need a breakout game as a team, move on beyond this 1,000-point chase, and let's get on to the playoffs. But I think it's creating a little bit of tightness within the team. It seems like that some of the shooters are hesitant to take that shot, and they're looking to make that extra pass, and sometimes that's not the right decision to make.
And the most alarming part, Kate, has got to be the fact that this Leominster team has slowly and steadily sort of disappeared. They have disappeared in games. They've disappeared for consecutive games. There's just something about what they're doing. And again, it's not for, as you guys have identified, it's not for a lack of effort or not for lack of ability in these cases. It's just there is something missing right now, and they're trying to find it.
It's confidence. At the beginning of the year, they came out with a swagger that first handful of games, an absolute swagger. And when they got more than a handful of games into the season, it became obvious that they may not have been as indestructible as they thought they might have been. They were, and coaches talked about it, they were a little bit one-dimensional. When you're relying on a single person on the court to generate 20-plus points a game for your program, if you go up against a quality opponent, they're going to be able to essentially not maybe neutralize it. Justin is far too talented a player to be completely neutralized, but he's going to have games like tonight where he's held to 12 points. It's going to happen from time to time. And that means that you're going to have more than just maybe one or maybe two people. You're going to need to have contributions up and down your lineup in order to be able to overcome nights like that. You see the Leominster team that comes out of the locker room right now. The difference is the swagger. First 5 games, they came out and they knew how good they were. Right now, they're coming out and it's Jekyll or is it Hyde? That's the question mark every single night that you have to work with. And to Coach Grutchfield's credit, they're trying to move the puzzle pieces around to see what fits best against a given opponent. But right now, the kryptonite has been, they're not taking advantage of those open opportunities, and that kryptonite continues to be they're relying on their defense, but on the offensive end, they're having trouble scoring. And right now, I think Coach is behind us.
He is, as a matter of fact. So let's welcome in Coach Kevin Grutchfield as we continue here post-game.
Yeah. Oh, give him mine. I'm out of here.
Thank
Bye.
you very
Have
much.
Fun.
Is it me or just something I said? Creeping up behind.
Indeed. Coach Kevin Crutchfield joins me here above courtside tonight. And, Coach, we're sitting here sort of trying to diagnose where things are at this point.
Oh, you and me both, my friend.
I was going to say, I'm sure that's something that you and your coaching staff are doing as well. And it's sort of, we're trying to look at the entire body of work.
Yep.
And there's the team of the first half of the year, and there's the team in the second half of the year. And those two just haven't been the same. Kate pinned it at a confidence. There's something about their sort of internal feeling about themselves that just is missing.
Yeah, and you can see it. We've yet to put a complete game together. Our defense in the first half was pretty good. Our defense in the second half was not great. We couldn't hit a shot for long periods of time. And it's not like we haven't been working hard in practice. So I'm as confused as others. It's not a group that's got that one guy that's going to grab everybody by the collar and be vocal and be loud, and so leadership is an issue. But this loss is not going to define our season. We have at least 4 more games, all home. We can turn this around. We're going to get back to work on Sunday, and at least we battled. Fitchburg's a good team. They've won 8 in a row. They're athletic. They killed us on the boards. They got offensive rebound after offensive rebound. So back to the drawing board.
And they capitalized on their opportunities. If you were to compare where the two teams were, both teams certainly created opportunities for themselves. Fitchburg capitalized on theirs, and yours were just too many misses.
Too many misses, lack of rebounding, lack of putbacks, and defensive breakdowns. So this will make us battle tested, and hopefully at some point we can qualify for the districts and give somebody some pressure.
Well, and that, of course, is sort of a different part of all of this. Last year was the first statewide chase. This is the second time you guys have gone through this, and this is the first time that you all have sort of had to watch yourself with each successive draft drop down the board.
Right.
And that's a new feeling for coaches. It's a new feeling for student athletes, because let's not pretend they know this as well. So as you're having to watch that, that's sort of got to play in the psyche here a little bit as well.
Absolutely, and we've had a good run here the last few years, and we were very successful in our summer leagues and our fall leagues. So this is kind of new. These stumbles, it's I can't count how many teams have stormed the court after they beat us. So I do take some solace in that, but yeah, we got to figure it out. We will.
And back at it comes Tuesday night, and it's a busy week next week, and of course the schedule's still a little open-ended. But at Shrewsbury Tuesday, for sure. Bedford now Thursday, and then Haverhill on Sunday, with some other stuff potentially
possibly
in
a
between.
Game Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, so it is a very slammed end of this season calendar, and of course you've got to go one game at a time. Off day, obviously, the next couple into Monday practice, and then right onto the floor on Tuesday against a Shrewsbury team that you all lost to sort of as part of this stretch.
Yeah, it kind of started things, and they really did a good job doubling Dada, and they were really physical. So, that's going to be a make or break game for us. That we're better than them. We need to establish our offense right off the bat, and I think we will. So we have to have a couple of good days of practice, and then get after Tuesday.
And back at it you will. Family, we're sending you home. You got a bus ride first,
All right.
though.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much.
Right.
Coach Crutchfield joining us here post-game at the Grutch tonight here on RFM. Great to have you with us, whether you're joining us on RFM, Leominster TV, or Fitchburg Access Television as well. Kate Robbins-Reed joins me here, and Bill Thomas. Hey, where'd y'all go? Y'all go
went
running away? Where'd y'all go?
We were discussing Florida.
All of a sudden, I felt like, something happened.
Well, I saw this.
You might be on your own next week. Kate wants me to
I want to
smuggle
go
her
to
to Florida.
Oh, my. Yeah. You've seen what it's been like with just two of us here, right? Can you imagine just one? Anyway, moving on, as we've got everyone still with us.
Poor Bradley.
I was going to say, let's talk about post-game stats. Kate, give us the complete wrap-up on tonight.
We'll do on Leominster side of the ball. Team totals 30 rebounds, 4 steals, 18 turnovers. Here's a yucky one, though. 3 of 11 as a team from the free throw line. Individual notable statistics on the night. McCormick ends his night with 3. Dada ends his night with a team-high 16. Encarnacion ends his night with 5. Johnson ends his night with 6. Hawes ends his night with 8. Now for the victorious Red Raiders, team totals 29 rebounds, 5 steals, 15 turnovers. They were 2 of 9 from the line. Rivera ends his night with 3. Medina with 4. Ayala with 2. Kutka ends his night with 10. Rodriguez ends his night with 6. Torres with 3. Bryson with 3. And Jeffries with a team-high 11 points. But 41-38, a defensive battle on both ends. Whistles were away for most of it, so it was physical. Didn't get out of control, though.
Nope.
Usually, sometimes, I will say, when, we may have been critical here and there of the officiating, but when you have a veteran crew and you have a group of 3, I thought they did a tremendous job of nobody was in foul trouble. So you get to see the talent. Nobody was handcuffed by being in foul trouble. So you get to see everybody at their best. It was incredibly physical, but it didn't get out of hand. And to be perfectly candid with you, we might have been a little bit critical. The coaching staffs might have been a little bit critical, but a phenomenal game by the officials to bring us just a dandy tonight.
That is the balance of a physical basketball game, and I will say, to the point, what we anticipated might happen in the fourth quarter did not. There were more fouls, but the anticipation of maybe it increasing exponentially was not the situation.
It had the same feel.
Developed.
It was not as if you had 3 quarters of a basketball game that felt one way versus a quarter that felt another. There's nothing that's more upsetting from a fan, from broadcasters, certainly from a coaching staff, because if you change your entire philosophy quarter by quarter or half by half, that's just disingenuous to the student athletes and the coaching staff that are trying to essentially make a game plan. So kudos to them. Were there a few more fouls? Yeah, absolutely. But it didn't have the feel of there being 2 separate games. Loved it.
And that is the way that we look for things to
Veteran
develop.
officiating.
Indeed. 41-38, Fitchburg tops Leominster. 8 wins in a row for the Red and Gray. They are
impressive.
Red hot
James
right
McCall
now.
must be happy.
I would say if you are on that sheet and you are, say, Wachusett coming up on Tuesday,
look out.
This is not the team you want to be taking on, who is red hot right now, charged toward the playoffs, and then in the postseason. I would not want to draw Fitchburg in any, whether it's the Midwatch tournament or whether it is the MIAA statewide tournament.
None of it.
I wouldn't want to draw them home or away. That is a really excellent basketball team playing their best right now.
And they're confident.
Indeed they are, with good
reason.
Final score here once again, 41-38.
Say
Great
toodles to
night
Bradley so he
of
can get out
basketball. We're going to say toodles to everybody as we remind you that our action continues here on RFM. You can join us on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, or online at Twitter at Media Rivalry. Like, follow, and subscribe when our content goes live. It finds you on your favorite smart-enabled device and your favorite digital media app. Whether you're joining us on Leominster TV or Fitchburg Access Television, once again, thank you all so very much for a phenomenal night. Bradley Bedard from Leominster TV bringing us the pictures tonight for both Leominster TV and Fitchburg Access Television. And we once again thank the great folks at FATV, led by Nate Glennie, Executive Director, Travis Falk, their Operations Manager, the IT Department here at Fitchburg, making sure this live broadcast made its way to its streaming home tonight. Once again, our final score, Fitchburg 41 and Leominster 38. The Red and Gray are 10-4. Leominster is 8-7. For all of us here at RFM, Kate Robbins, Bill Thomas, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us and being a part of our family over the last couple of hours. Until Tuesday night, where we are back with you for Leominster and Shrewsbury. 7 o'clock, the tip-off, boys basketball action. Chase for 1,000 continues, and so much more. Postseason positioning as well. We say, so long, everybody.
LTV Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors. MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.